Anna had been unfaithful, and after our divorce, I fought for and gained custody of Olivia. Unexpectedly, Olivia grew to resent me deeply for it. She blamed me for tearing her away from her beloved mother.
You took me away from Mom. I hate you for that.
When she came of age, she invited me to go rock climbing. Secretly, she unfastened my safety harness, causing me to fall from a great height and
This is what you deserve.
her eyes were filled with venom. I will never forget the look of hatred in her eyes. Given another chance, I would have let this touching mother-daughter duo stay together. But then, Olivia knelt down, crying and begging me.
Dad, please take me home.
Anna had been unfaithful, and after our divorce, I won custody of our daughter, Olivia. But over time, Olivia grew to resent me deeply.
You tore me away from Mom. I hate you for that.
When she came of age, she invited me to go rock climbing. Little did I know, she had a terrible plan in mind.
Dad, let's go rock climbing. It'll be fun.
As I fell from the great height, I realized she had unfastened my safety harness.
This is what you deserve.
I'll never forget the look of hatred in her eyes. If given another chance, I would have let her stay with her mother.
Dad, please take me home.
As expected, Sophia chose her mother.
I want Mom. I don't want a dad who hits people. I want Uncle Nick to be my dad.
Sophia suddenly burst into tears, clinging to Red and refusing to let go.
TSK, what's so great about being tough? Your wife and kid both hate you. You're a real failure as a man.
Emily didn't say anything, but the corners of her mouth were practically reaching the sky.
In that case, just sign the divorce papers.
I said, throwing the documents over without hesitation. Emily looked through them, her face turning extremely unpleasant. Seeing this, Red leaned in as well.
Why should I leave with nothing? I still need to take care of Sophia.
Yeah, and there are several houses and cars too.
I'll give Sophia a monthly support of $20,000. But other than that, don't expect a penny. Those who are unfaithful have no right to negotiate.
That's all marital property. The law says I get a share.
Don't forget, we have a prenuptial agreement. You were the one who insisted on signing it back then.
Emily was stunned. 7 years ago, Emily was still the eldest daughter of the Young family. Brought together by our elders, we got to know and love each other, eventually entering into marriage. Though she entrusted her body and soul to me, deep down she still had her guard up. She always felt that my family was beneath hers. So she coaxed me into signing a prenuptial agreement. Little did she know, her family's financial situation was already precarious. They had no choice but to resort to this marriage alliance. Despite leveraging my family's connections and resources, they still couldn't turn their business around. At best, they maintained a facade of prosperity. If we were to tally everything up, Emily owed me a significant amount of money. It wasn't just about the houses and cars. Emily knew this well. After much hesitation, she reluctantly signed her name.
Are you crazy? Why give him everything?
The greed and jealousy in his eyes were barely concealed. It seemed their relationship wasn't entirely genuine either. Emily avoided his gaze, feeling guilty.
I don't care about his filthy money. I'm still the eldest daughter of the Young family. This money is just pocket change.
Hearing this, Red breathed a sigh of relief, his smug expression returning. He immediately wrapped his arm around her neck and gave her a big kiss.
I knew Emily was the most amazing woman.
I almost laughed out loud. I couldn't wait to see how long their love would last. With Sophia as a constant reminder, the days ahead were bound to be interesting. I was eager to see how the once proud princess would transform. Anna was unfaithful, and after our divorce, I fought for and won custody of Olivia. Unexpectedly, Olivia grew to resent me deeply for it.
You tore me away from Mom. How could you?
She blamed me for everything. When she came of age, she invited me to go rock climbing.
Let's go rock climbing, Dad. It'll be fun.
Little did I know, she had a plan. She unfastened my safety harness.
This is what you deserve.
I fell from a great height and shattered into pieces. I'll never forget the look of hatred in her eyes. Given another chance, I would have let this touching mother-daughter duo stay together.
Dad, please take me home.
But then, she knelt down, crying and begging me. Anna's infidelity led to our divorce, and I won custody of our daughter, Olivia. However, she harbored deep resentment towards me. One day, she invited me to go rock climbing.
Dad, let's go rock climbing this weekend.
Unbeknownst to me, Olivia had a sinister plan. As we were climbing, she secretly unfastened my safety harness. I fell from a great height and shattered into pieces.
This is what you deserve.
I will never forget the hatred in her eyes. If given another chance, I would have let Olivia stay with her mother. But then, she knelt down, crying.
Dad, please take me home.
Emily's call came through, and I held the phone away in advance. Her voice was indeed loud.
Jen, I've never met a man as petty as you.
Under the judgmental stares of others, Emily, embarrassed and angry, took it out on me.
It's just a bit of your money. Do you really need to retaliate like this?
You have plenty of money. Even if I don't spend it, other women will. At least I was your wife and Sophia's mother.
You do remember you're my ex-wife, right? Emily, I haven't missed a single child support payment for Sophia.
If you spend my money, you better give back every penny, or you'll be facing a lawsuit.
Red grabbed the phone, clearly forgetting the lesson from the last time he got beaten up, and started cursing at me.
Then sue us! I'll countersue you for slander!
If Sophia finds out, how do you expect her to hold her head up at school? You don't even care about maintaining her mother's image.
Ha! Maintain an image? When I got custody of Sophia, I kindly kept Emily's infidelity a secret.
As long as you pay back the money and keep your mouth shut, how would Sophia ever find out?
There was silence on the other end. Emily's voice, faintly tearful, began to play the sympathy card.
We were married once. Do you really have no feelings left? You were the one who pursued me, saying that even if we ever separated, you would still treat me well.
It only made me angrier. She really thought of me as a fool. Not a chance.
Get lost!
I gave the recovered money to my assistant as a bonus.
You'll have to handle more tasks like this in the future.
Emily and her group were not the type to give up easily. Sure enough, one night, Sophia called me on a video chat.
Dad, I miss you so much.
She tried hard to look like she missed me, but the light in her eyes flickered as she switched between game screens.
Sophia, Dad misses you too. I miss the innocent you from a year ago, before your mom met Red.
Thinking back to when Emily and I were in love and had our love's fruit, it felt like a lifetime ago. Back then, Sophia was so sweet and adorable. The thing she said most often was,
When is Dad coming home? I miss him.
Someone pinched Sophia's cheek, and she reluctantly tore her attention away from the game.
Dad, I want to join an art class. The teacher said it costs $10.
$10? I frowned. The next second, there were some indistinct whispers, and Sophia quickly corrected herself.
No, it costs $10,000.
All right, Dad will pay for it.
Sophia glanced at someone off camera, received some praise, and immediately started another game.
Thanks, Dad.
Dad will pay half, and Mom will pay the other half. Ask your mom to advance the payment and send me the receipt afterward.
Okay.
Sophia's mind was entirely on the game, and Emily's angry face suddenly appeared.
You little brat, what do you mean okay? Chenlu, do you even know how to be a father? Quibbling over the cost of your daughter's class, aren't you afraid of being laughed at?
I simply switched off the video and turned to voice call, so I wouldn't lose my mood for socializing later.
I didn't say she couldn't join. I'm the dad, you're the mom, splitting it half and half is fair. If it's a legitimate training institution, getting a receipt shouldn't be hard. Make sure the recipient is the company's finance department.
The implication was that I had professional accountants who could verify the authenticity. I would definitely pay what I should. But I doubted Emily could afford it. She had always lived a pampered life. At home, she had her parents' favoritism, and after marriage, I spoiled her. She had no concept of money. In the past, $10,000 wouldn't even cover one cosmetic procedure for her. Since she wanted to try someone like Red, she had to accept the current disparity. Emily's parents were overwhelmed with business issues and couldn't give her any pocket money. And I would no longer be a free ATM. Emily hesitated for a long time.
Aren't you afraid that Sophia will resent you in the future for being so petty?
I've faced worse. After middle school, Sophia started asking me for money for various reasons.
Sophia would secretly hide in the neighborhood park, playing on her phone instead of attending her supposed classes.
Chenlu, I thought you should know what Sophia's been up to.
The money had all gone into Emily's pocket.
Emily, I advise you to pay more attention to Sophia. When she grows up, even if she hates me, she might not truly love you either.
Less than 10 years after Chenlu's death, Emily and Sophia squandered all their money and lived a life evading debts.
This is all your fault, Sophia.
No, you're the one who ruined everything.
Their false sense of family finally crumbled, and they saw each other as enemies.
I need to find a way out of this mess.
Maybe you should have thought of that before.
Chenlu's thoughts were pulled back to reality by a gentle female voice.
Chenlu?
He turned around to see a high school classmate he hadn't seen in years.
Long time no see.
Long time no see.
According to the agreement, I went to Red's house to pick up Sophia and take her to the amusement park. Emily had been so wary of me that she only allowed me to visit Sophia once every 6 months during the winter and summer vacations. A child's memory is filled with countless things every day, and when I saw Sophia again, her eyes showed more estrangement and unfamiliarity than dislike. Sophia no longer wanted to call me Dad.
Get lost, she said rudely.
Sophia, how can you talk like that? He is still your father.
I don't have a father like him. He's a jerk. A beast. A scumbag.
Sophia's cursing was just like her mother's. Under their influence, Sophia had learned these vile words. They chose today to say them to me, hoping to humiliate me. If you don't want to go out with me, then today's visit is over, I said, turning to leave. The 2-bedroom apartment behind me reeked of filth, filled with piles of garbage. Staying another minute would only degrade my dignity. Seeing this, Emily quickly pushed Sophia out, giving her several meaningful glances. Red put a small backpack on her and whispered a few words in her ear.
Don't forget our little secret.
Okay, bye Mom and Dad.
The bitterness in my heart had long since vanished. I didn't care about their secret laughter behind my back. I was just fulfilling my obligation. After spending a day at the amusement park with Sophia, she pointed at whatever she wanted, urging me to buy it for her. When paying, her eyes were fixed on my wallet. Her intentions were written all over her face.
I want to play that ride.
The staff required us to put our belongings in a locker. Sophia's backpack, along with my phone and wallet, were all stored away. After one round, Sophia eagerly unfastened her seatbelt and ran out of my sight, disappearing in an instant. The locker was empty. She had taken my things and run off. I chased her to the entrance, where I saw Red waving at Sophia from a distance. The two of them hailed a cab and drove away. I pulled out a phone from the zippered pocket inside my jacket and sent Emily a message, telling her that Red had taken Sophia. What Sophia had taken was just a flip phone case and an empty wallet. Fortunately, I had been cautious. Soon, Emily's messages bombarded my phone.
You even guard against your own daughter. It's disgusting. Sophia hates you to death. Don't expect to see her again. Spend the rest of your life with your filthy money.
Isn't that exactly what I wanted? She still thought she could use Sophia to threaten me, believing I valued the father-daughter relationship. I was utterly disappointed in this daughter. She had picked up the bad habit of stealing. It would ultimately harm herself and others. Not long after, Sophia got into trouble at school. She stole money from her deskmate, causing the other child to go without lunch for a week.
Sophia, did you take the money?
No, I didn't.
The child didn't dare to tell his family until he fainted at the school gate. At the hospital, he finally revealed the truth. The parents, in a fit of anger, called the police. The classroom surveillance showed Sophia taking 200 yuan from his backpack.
Sophia, we have the footage. Why did you do it?
I didn't take it.
She had already spent the money on blind boxes. When the class teacher called me, I was on a business trip abroad, so the teacher had to contact Emily.
Do I really have to go to the school?
Under pressure from the other parents, she reluctantly went to the school with Red.
She just took something, so what? She's still a minor, not even 14 yet. Do you want her to go to jail?
Red's rogue attitude infuriated the other parents. With Red backing her up, Emily also straightened her back, and Sophia refused to admit her mistake.
It's all a misunderstanding.
That night, he had people beat them up. Red lost a few teeth, and a large patch of Emily's scalp was torn off. After venting their anger, they warned them.
If you dare call the police, next time we'll take your lives.
They crawled back home in a sorry state. Sophia was too scared to go to school alone and took sick leave. She only dared to return to school after hearing that her deskmate had transferred.
Did you hear about Sophia?
She was likely met with strange looks from her classmates.
With a wife and daughter like that, I feel exhausted and sorry for you.
I kept smiling. It's all in the past. None of it concerns me anymore. The tension between Anna and I reached a boiling point after her infidelity. Our divorce was inevitable, and I fought fiercely for custody of Olivia. Though I won, Olivia's resentment towards me grew with each passing year.
You took me away from Mom. I'll never forgive you for that.
As she came of age, she invited me to go rock climbing. Little did I know, she secretly unfastened my safety harness.
This is what you deserve.
I fell from a great height, my body shattering on impact. The hatred in her eyes. I'll never forget it. Given another chance, I would have let them stay together. But then, Olivia knelt down, tears streaming down her face.
Dad, please take me home.
A mutual friend told me that Emily had given birth to a son and threw a grand celebration for his 1-month milestone. She privately messaged everyone on her contact list, eager to collect more gifts, hoping to have more children.
Red was scowling the entire time, and the child's grandparents weren't too thrilled either. After all, the daughter-in-law is almost their age, and she's divorced with a child from a previous marriage.
The friend went specifically to witness the spectacle, enjoying the drama immensely. A son and a marriage certificate were now in place.
Even without love or money, Emily's wish had come true. She had successfully tied Red to her for life.
Isabella now had a brother to compete with for attention, making their family life quite eventful. When the results of the high school entrance exams were announced, Isabella got into a vocational school. Although the score was expected, I still felt a bit regretful. Even though she was at the bottom of the class in her previous life, she at least attended a regular high school. After high school graduation, I had already arranged for her to attend a university abroad, paving a bright future for her. I didn't expect her to be highly successful, just that she wouldn't have to worry about making a living. But she ended up causing my demise that summer. The path she needed to walk was one no one else could help her with, and I didn't want to endure the consequences of her actions again. A person's destiny is in their own hands, not determined by their academic background. If Isabella could grasp this concept in time, it wouldn't be too late. Unfortunately, I overestimated her. 3 years later, Isabella skipped the college entrance exams and spent the night partying with her friends. I also underestimated Emily's tactics. Shortly after Isabella's 18th birthday, something happened to her.
Dad, come save me. Mom wants to sell me.
Anna was unfaithful, and after our divorce, I fought for and won custody of Olivia. Unexpectedly, Olivia grew to resent me deeply for it. She blamed me for tearing her away from her beloved mother. When she came of age, she invited me to go rock climbing.
This is what you deserve.
She unfastened my safety harness, causing me to fall from a great height and shatter into pieces. I will never forget the look of hatred in her eyes. Given another chance, I would have let this touching mother-daughter duo stay together. But then, Olivia knelt down, crying and begging me.
Dad, please take me home.
After our divorce, I fought for and won custody of Olivia. But she grew to resent me deeply for it, blaming me for tearing her away from her beloved mother. One day, as she came of age, she invited me to go rock climbing.
Dad, let's go rock climbing. It'll be fun.
Unbeknownst to me, she had a sinister plan. As I ascended, she secretly unfastened my safety harness. I fell from a great height, shattering into pieces.
This is what you deserve.
I will never forget the look of hatred in her eyes. Given another chance, I would have let this touching mother-daughter duo stay together. Yet, as I lay there in pain, Olivia knelt down, tears streaming down her face.
Dad, please take me home.
The next day, I was awakened by countless phone calls. Relatives and friends were urging me to check the news.
What's going on?
We both sat up in bed to watch the news, trying to figure out what had happened. Olivia had posted a video online, causing a huge uproar. It was footage from her visit to my house the previous day, filmed from her perspective. She had carefully crafted it to look like a tragic story of a daughter searching for her father, only to be pushed to the ground and thrown out of the house. The media took it out of context, accusing me of abandoning my biological daughter. Netizens jumped in to seek justice.
Her mom had a baby brother, and her dad didn't want her either. He'd rather raise someone else's child. Poor girl.
What kind of father is this? He's a boss, but his daughter is working as a waitress. The richer they are, the stingier they get. Authorities should check his taxes.
The blogger was also wronged by a scumbag. She had a procedure at the hospital where I interned. The nurse on duty knew about it. Her biological dad was distancing himself from her at the time. The blogger has had a rough life.
Sophia has gone too far.
Last night, before bed, Anna had been urging me to forgive Olivia, saying she might genuinely want to change. She even planned to leave an empty bedroom for her. I took a deep breath, pulling myself back from the edge of impulsiveness, and quickly contacted a well-known lawyer to help clear my name. I also instructed the company to reassure our clients about our ongoing cooperation. Things will turn around soon. You should trust my character, I patiently replied to each call and email. The morning felt especially long. Fortunately, by noon, there was a breakthrough. The first person to question Olivia wasn't me, but a former classmate she had bullied in school.
Olivia locked me in the girls' bathroom overnight, causing severe psychological trauma that required long-term therapy. Throughout it all, neither you nor your mother ever apologized. It was your father who found out and stood outside my house for 2 days and nights, apologizing on your behalf. He covered my medical expenses and compensated for my emotional distress. He even helped my parents find better jobs. I remember his words clearly, "Good child, you can always hate her, but please don't blame yourself. Your future should be bright." Olivia, I hate you, but I respect your father. You don't deserve to slander him.
I remembered that small, frail girl. Over the years, I had cleaned up many of Olivia's messes. As her guardian and biological father, I wanted to distance myself from the failure of my marriage. But I was the one who brought her into this world, and I could never escape that responsibility. More dirt surfaced, not just about Olivia, but also about Emily being caught in a compromising situation at a salon, recorded by onlookers. Finally, I released the surveillance footage from our living room, revealing the flaws in Olivia's self-directed drama. The tide of public opinion turned, and netizens' anger was ignited. The mother and daughter became infamous, with everyone saying, "Like mother, like daughter." The internet is a double-edged sword. Those who use it with ill intentions will eventually get cut. Despite the initial dip in sales, our company's products saw a surge, meeting our annual KPI ahead of schedule. Olivia could never have imagined this outcome. The mastermind behind her actions had shot themselves in the foot. I had won custody of Olivia after our divorce, but it only made her resent me more. She blamed me for tearing her away from her mother. When she turned 18, she suggested we go rock climbing together.
Dad, let's go rock climbing this weekend. It'll be fun.
I agreed, not suspecting anything. But at the peak, she unfastened my safety harness, causing me to fall.
This is what you deserve.
I'll never forget the hatred in her eyes. If given another chance, I might have let her stay with her mother. But then, Olivia knelt beside me, crying.
Dad, please take me home.
Malie tried to shift the blame for her fall onto me, hoping to extort a large sum of money.
If you had held on to her, my precious daughter wouldn't have fallen. You've always wanted her gone so you could live happily with your new wife and son.
Witnesses at the scene couldn't stand her accusations and presented video evidence showing that Isabella had deliberately pulled away from my grasp.
You're all lying. I know what you want.
Unwilling to miss the chance to extort money, Emily caused a scene at the police station, crying to every officer she could find. However, her efforts were in vain, and she was eventually thrown out for disrupting public order.
You can't throw me out! I need justice!
Faced with high medical bills, Emily saw Isabella as a burden and left her to fend for herself in the hospital, even blocking the hospital's number. With Anna's consent, I hired a caregiver for Isabella, ensuring she was well taken care of. This was my final act of kindness towards her. A few months later, news came that Red had passed away. He died in a 5-star hotel room, and several wealthy older women were questioned that night. He had a preference for older women, but his body couldn't handle it. His fate was of his own making. With her main support gone, Emily lost her mind. She went door to door with her son, demanding compensation from the wealthy women, but couldn't even get past the gates of their villas. The money Red had received from these women never reached Emily. Their relationships were consensual. After months of futile efforts, the women, fed up with Emily, gave her tens of thousands to make her go away. The money barely warmed her hands before her son spent it all on gifts for a game streamer, who then deleted their account and disappeared from the platform. The chances of recovering the money from the untraceable platform were slim to none. Emily was completely broken, constantly fighting with her son, turning their home into a battleground and drawing numerous complaints from neighbors. This twisted family bond was destined to last a lifetime. "Dad, dinner's ready," my son called, handing me a set of utensils. Anna had prepared a feast, and after dinner, I took on the task of washing the dishes. Our family was filled with joy and warmth. Even without blood ties, we were closer than real family. This was a true home.